Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be a free agent in 2026, and the Mets are very, very interested. What's going on, guys? My name is Randy, and you are watching the Randy Talks Mets channel, where you get your latest Mets videos, Mets news, anything you know about the Mets. Guys, we got a topic to talk about, and that is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and his impending free agency in 2026. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., we know that he put a timeline in spring training. Once the start of spring training started, Vladimir Guerrero wanted to basically sign a contract with the Toronto Blue Jays or not. And he put this deadline because he doesn't want to negotiate during the season. Basically the same thing that Francisco Lindor did. So now that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be a free agent in 2026, are the Toronto Blue Jays going to trade him? Are the Mets going to sign him in free agency? Definitely, it's a lot to talk about. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr., guys, if you didn't know, in 2024, batted .323 for a batting average, hit 30 home runs, had an OPS of 940. This guy, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., is a beast. He had 103 RBIs. He's something special, and there's a reason why the Mets are interested now, and the Mets are going to be interested in 2026, because Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you got your first baseman for this year, which is Pete Alonso, and we know the Pete Alonso situation. The Pete Alonso basically is going to be a Met for this year, but the Mets have their eyes on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Pete Alonso is going to be a Met for just, let's say he has a good year. He's going to opt out, and the Mets don't want to give Pete Alonso this long-term contract unless he really shows something special. And I don't think David Stearns and Steve Cohen really love the type of player that Pete Alonso is. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just let him walk, give him a qualifying offer, and let him walk or whatever. But let's say he has a good year, he hopped out, whatever. The Mets are going to go right after Vladimir Guerrero Jr. because, first of all, they were already interested in the offseason and wanted to trade for him. They showed some type of interest. And obviously, they didn't come to a term. They didn't come to a deal because Toronto is going to ask for so many prospects. They're going to ask for so many things. But now that you know that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be a free agent in 2026, is the price going to get lower? Is the price going to get better? Who knows? I think when it comes to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., this guy is a guy you need. You need on this team. You need him to be your first baseman for the next, 10 years, whatever you want to call it. He's probably going to get a 10-year extension, 10-year deal, and $500 million, maybe $450 around there mil for 10 years. It kind of is what it is. When it comes to Vladimir Guerrero, he's a very, very talented offensive hitter. He's not the best defender in the world, does have a really good arm. But when it comes to the defense, Vladimir Guerrero's arm is so much better than Pete Alonso. And obviously, you got Vladimir Guerrero, you got the weight issues, that type of stuff. But maybe, who knows? I think when it comes to the weight issue, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has to work on that. He has to work on that. But if he's going to be your first baseman, and if he's going to hit you 30 home runs, are you really going to care? Because he's going to 30 home runs, 103 RBIs. The Mets would have took that last year in a second. So the Mets in 2026, let's hope that they get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I just think it's very, very interesting to talk about because now obviously there was talk about it, but now there's really going to be talk about it because just like it was Soto watch in 2025, now it's going to be Vladimir Guerrero Jr. watch. And he's a really good player. He's a really good offensive player. Like I said, 30 home runs, 323 for a batting average. That is very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. And he's going to be 27 by 2026. So you probably going to sign him for 10 years. It kind of is what it is. The contracts nowadays in baseball, this is how it goes. So we will see what happens, but I think this is going to be a really, really interesting to watch. And maybe there's a case that the Mets trade for this guy in the trade deadline. Maybe if they want a big bat or whatever, but it's going to be definitely interesting to watch. But Toronto Blue Jays, I don't know what's going on with that organization. I don't know why they couldn't come to terms. If they have all this money to try to sign Shohei Ohtani, all this money to try to sign, other guys, other big free agents, why don't they have all this money for Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? I truly don't get it, but it is what it is. If they lose him, to the Mets, I would definitely love that, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys prefer Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to be your first baseman, the Mets' first baseman in 2026? Or would you take your guy, take Pete Alonso? Would you take your homegrown guy? To me, I'm taking Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's just a better player. Offensively, he's a better defender. He's just better in general. That's my opinion. And when you look at the stats, it kind of says that he really is better. So, guys, if you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Randy, and you just watched the Randy Talks Mets channel. And I'm out of here, man.